the only suggestion I made to her, I said, look, just read the law and do what the law says. Don't try to read anything else to it. Don't listen to the politicians on either side. Your job is to you're an umpire, to call it the way the law says. And I would think that you're right. Hopefully it'll be unanimous. But the other side of that problem too, though, Ray, is, I'll tell you, in 2020, I thought the courts in general abdicated their obligation to try to speak up on these issues. There were so many of them in the 2020 election. And many of the cases that were brought up by President Trump, I think he was correct. The way that election law is in California and in most states, the legislature has to pass the law. The Secretary of State cannot make the law. The governor cannot make the law. And even the courts can't make the law. If the legislature doesn't pass it, and what happened in that year is all these other groups just changed it because of COVID. And that's not legal. So I was very disappointed in that, and I hope the court will be very clear in their decision on this, because I agree, it could be very detrimental to the long-term health of the country.
Yeah, I never thought I would see the day from, the will of the voters to make that final decision. Colorado being the 10th state on this one, I imagine. But there's so many things going on that I never thought would happen anyway. So nothing surprises me anymore. You're probably of the same persuasion.
No question, Ray. I am shocked. Nothing surprises me anymore, to your point.
Yeah, that's what happens. A lot of small women who want to compete in sports. That's one thing. When we're talking about the removal of Donald Trump or Joe Biden, that's another thing. It just goes on and on and on, and it seems like it will never end. It used to be that everything was judged to be right or wrong, ethical, unethical. Now there's all this gray matter in between that I don't know where it's coming from. My God, it's going to stop, or we're going to see.
Well, unfortunately, I think much is made of these extraordinary issues like man versus woman. And, unfortunately, the press plays this up a bit because it's controversial, and that's not unusual. However, because there's so much news today, and it's 24/7, it kind of takes on a life of its own. But I think right and wrong is still the same as it's always been, Ray. And I think you just have to tune some of this out and consider it noise and move on and have a great Christmas.
I think so. And you have a great Christmas, you and Maureen, your daughters, all of that, your family. And hope to hear from you soon. Stay healthy, and we'll talk down the road, Bill.
Look forward to it, Ray. Take care. Merry Christmas to all your listeners. Bye-bye.
All right. Thank you, sir. Thank you, my friend. Bill Jones, okay, former Secretary of State, never tried to run for government. And he was assemblyman for quite a while. He's, in his career, he's done a lot of good. He's instrumental in 3 strikes with the late Mike Reynolds. I played a little tiny role, and others getting that up and running. But, that's probably one of the most successful pieces of legislation and voter approved. You've got a double dip. Willie said, this train is leaving the station. We better write up our own, otherwise we're going to look pretty stupid. And they did. The Assembly, even though they were fighting a tooth and nail, people like the last name of Vasconcelos and others who were still legends in their own mind, really had to ultimately capitulate and come up with a version of 2 strikes which was passed that the voters voted on. This thing was double dipped, as I always say. If you would have thought that would have made it strong, untouchable. Nah, it just took a few people with a lot of money and a nephew or a stepchild in jail on their first strike, coming up with a ballot measure to water the damn thing down. Now it's practically worthless. Coming up. I want to talk to you about California setting an environmental milestone. What have we done now? We're going to eliminate, you've not heard this yet, you're going to know that, the use of single-use propane cylinders. You know what I'm talking about. You throw them in your gas grill outside. I use them on my 2 fire pits that I have in the backyard. I love my fire pits. I use them in the summer and the winter. I use them all the time. And if I'm not able to juice it with this propane and those cylinders, they're worthless. And The government tells me I can't do this? I'm like, come on. So they're going to reimburse me for what I paid for these two damn things? What about your barbecue? So look at any area that's going to become popular. And it's going to come to pass in 20... I'll tell you when we get done. Just because this is great. We'll talk a little more about it. But I will let you know exactly that these things are scheduled to vanish on KMJ and KNow.com every day.
Hey, it makes every drop taste great. What am I talking about? A new coffee maker? No. But imagine how great your coffee would be with a Life Source water system. That's what I'm talking about. Every drop will taste great, whether it's water or coffee, or an adult beverage on the rocks. Come on, it's time to filter out all the harsh contaminants, the chlorine, the dirt, the sediment. Give yourself the gift of softer skin for Christmas. We all want that. Nobody wants to look like a shriveled up piece of boo leather. With Life Source, you have the highest rated filtration capacity of any whole house water system, and the longest lasting, by the way. It's a lot more bang for your buck. Your system will be installed by experts who know what the heck they're doing, and there's no maintenance after that. None. Zero, baby. And Life Source is turning 40, and they want you to celebrate with some huge savings. For a very limited time, you're going to save hundreds and hundreds of bucks for your Life Source water system. They want their 40th anniversary to be meaningful and real. Look at LifeSourceWater.com, or you can call 800-WATER-99. That's 800-WATER-99. It's computer electric.
Need a reliable answer to customer drilling services? Strickland Drilling is your trusted partner in the field with over 20 years of experience and the industry leaders in providing top-notch drilling solutions. Strickland Drilling understands the importance of precision and efficiency, utilizing state-of-the-art equipment to ensure accurate and timely results.
Thanks to Strickland Drilling, we were able to complete our construction project on time. Their professionalism and attention to detail were second to none.
We've been relying on Strickland Drilling for years. They consistently deliver outstanding results.
Are you on a waiting list to have a well drilled that turned away from other drilling companies who can't handle the hard drilling? Is your solution. Serving Fresno, Tulare, Kings, and Madera counties. Call Strickland Drilling, 352-7228. Strickland Drilling is your trusted partner in the field with over 20 years of experience and the industry leaders in providing top-notch drilling solutions. Call Strickland Drilling, 352-7228. Or visit our website at stricklanddrilling.com.
You're not going to believe it, that dead gum clear's busted again.
Again? Geez, did you make a call?
Yeah, and they want to condemn the unit.
Ah, that's it. It's always the same thing with those guys. This time call A&E.
But we didn't buy it from A&E.
Doesn't matter. A&E can get it fixed no matter where you got it. I've heard all over town. They really specialize in service.
Oh, that's good to know. I've heard a lot of good things about them over the years, too.
Yeah, I think it's time. Build it out here and get us back in the running. I hear they have a nice showroom with a great selection to choose from.
A&E pressure washers on the 99 between North and Cedar, just south of the old two-conductor tractor. Look for the big blue sign for water recycling systems, steam cleaners, and of course, A&E a call at 275-3891 or visit aefresno.com. And for your service needs, no matter where you bought it, call A&E at 275-3891.
Luxury driving has been redefined at Genesis of Selma. These extraordinary vehicles combine striking design with cutting-edge technology. Before shopping BMW or Audi, test drive the 2023 Motor Trend Car of the Year, the Genesis G90. Or if you're looking to elevate your mid-sized SUV, ladies, you will love the Genesis GV80. An athletic elegance, impressive standard of safety, and user-friendly technology to enhance your driving experience every day. Experience a new luxury at Genesis of Selma, the only dealer from Los Angeles to San Jose.
Hey, it's Toby from Wendy's. Picture a baconator. The 6 strips of applewood smoked bacon, the hot and juicy beef, pretzel bun. Wait, pretzel bun? A pretzel baconator. And it's only here for a limited time? And right now you can get $3 off mobile orders of $15 or more with the offer in the Wendy's app? It's everything. Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's new pretzel baconator.
Limited time only. Participating in U.S. Wendy's. $15 minimum required before taxes and fees. Account registration required.
Now, back to Ray Appleton on KMJ.
Joyce, here in California, we have set a new environmental precedent by banning the sale of single-use propane cylinders. A decision that's encapsulated in SB 1256, which will take place on January the 1st, 2028. That's not far from now.
Why are you honking at
This
me?
initiative
It's
is aimed at
front-
curtailing
You should know that.
waste and promoting sustainable living.
Looking at
It's not an isolated incident, but it's been a part of a growing trend toward legislative action against environmentally detrimental fuel types, so says the left. And while the primary goal is to minimize the impact of disposable bottles, in particular, the debate has swiftly expanded to the potential future of gas appliances nationwide, stirring a lot of concerns over the fate of gas grills. Deeply ingrained in the American outdoor living, cooking traditions for many, many people for years, for decades, for generations. The development has, resonated in California with states like Missouri, evaluating the repercussions and looking at the ins and outs of similar legislative actions, on their territory, on their turf. And the ban's introduction has encouraged the adoption of refillable propane tanks, spurred innovative programs like the Little Camper exchange system. I guess you're going to be able to get it filled, but it just depends upon how and what it's going to be in. And it faces a lot of opposition. I mean, come on. A lot of opposition. There are a lot of people coming up, a lot of companies coming out against this. And rightfully so. It's something that's been, with this for a long time. And if something's been with us for a long time, it doesn't make it right. I understand that. It doesn't make it permanent. There are things that have been with us further down the road where, they were not beneficial and we've gotten rid of them. But this just seems to be more political than anything. And it goes back to, propane and natural gas becoming the enemy after being the darling for so long of the environmental left, going back decades. And if there's one thing that's going to save us from ourselves, environmental gas, I just call them propane. But for a short time, it didn't have that label of environmental gas. I don't know if you remember or not. Natural gas. Now, no more. By because gas stoves, gas clothing dryers, gas anything. I've always been all gas. Every house I've lived in since this newer condominium. And I was going to have everything switched over. But I decided against it the last minute because it was going to be one of those situations, be quiet, Chloe, where, it ultimately was going to be bad anyway. So, that you got to look forward to in 2028. So hopefully they can come up with a reusable or safely disposable, whatever container for propane, so we can go on with our gas grills and our gas fire pits. I love that fire pit. I got a couple of fire pits, and I dig it. I like one so much I bought another. And I use them all the time. I use them in the winter. I use them in the summer. I use them whenever I can. It's a lot of fun. A lot of fun. And it's nice too. It's got great beauty. Great beauty. It's something that I can stare at, and it makes me feel very rested, at ease. I like it. And I don't want to get rid of it. So I made my point. I hope so. My gas grill. We are here at KMJ on the last Friday before Christmas. And then I'm going to be taking about a week off. And just to relax, got a little bit of surgery that I have with one eye. And you already know about that. I told you about the eye, and they're going to fix it. And hey, that problem has probably been noticed because it's something with a lot of words actually stumble over in my notes. I write these handwritten notes, and I put these cards together as a point of making me remember things easier. And and I'll come into a word that I think looks like the word that I think I want to use, and it turns out to be a different word, and I make a mistake. But that's all going to be fixed once both eyeballs are fully functional. And that'll be wonderful. The border, always every day the damn border. The border crossing planning asylums are now being given court dates way into the future, a decade down the road. I mean, come on. At the same time, the nation's immigration court, is so backed up now. We're talking about 3 million illegal aliens that have court dates. 10 years down the road, 3 million aliens of the illegal persuasion. How are we going to handle this? Because hundreds of people continue crossing the border every single day. Illegal aliens making these invalid asylum claims, flocking into the U.S. via the Mexican border in hopes of being released into American communities and never to be seen again. Many of them receiving a check-in and a hearing date that's well into the future. Every day, Biden's Department of Homeland Security is releasing thousands of border crossers, illegal aliens into the U.S. interior, and those released are given these notices to appear, these NTAs, before a federal immigration judge at a later date. Others are giving dates, for when they must check in immigration enforcement. Either one, down the road, 10 years. 10 years. How many of them are going to show, realistically, in 10 years? None. How about that? None. But that's the best we can do, with very limited sources working on the border, and with this ongoing let them in forever thing that Biden is doing, And yet you've got the Secretary of Homeland Security. He did it again the other day. In a speech he was making to a university, he talked about the border being closed. The border is closed as we know it. It's what he said. And he continues to say that. What color is the sun in his world? This guy really needs to be dumped. No. One more hour to go. Okay. One more hour for me. And then you're on your own, people, until I come back. This
includes Independence and Eurozani. Doherty Nursery is a member of P2G, and that means you get Blythe Hybrid 5 and Crimp 86, along with SG1 and FXA rootstock. Doherty Nursery carries all of the very best and top-leading rootstocks in the industry. Doherty Nursery is also your leader in pistachio rootstocks and budded pistachio trees. Call 1-800-GRAFTED to meet your field representative and discuss if Independence or Eurozani might be right for you. Learn about Doherty Nursery's new and improved pistachio program. Doherty Nursery pistachios are bigger with the new Moon Unit budded trees. Crop years ahead. Save pre-productive time and several acre-feet of water by planting Moon Unit. The new Vigor Clone rootstocks establish faster, come into production faster, and plateau at higher production levels than standard pistachio rootstocks. Doherty Nursery has several budded pistachio tree formats available, including the Moon Units for 2022 and 2023 spring planting. Talk to your Doherty Nursery field rep today.
Do you have 3 ex-wives and your current trophy wife wants a life insurance policy 3 times the size of the policies you had to purchase for your previous mistake? If so, you need to call Big Lou at Term Provider, 800-555-1509. Big Lou is intimately familiar with your problems, and if you're 50 or 60 years old and in reasonably good health, a $1 million policy should only cost about $100 to $200 per month. Big Lou may have a solution for your previous policies as well. You may even save enough money to lighten the load on your new $1 million policy. Remember, call Big Lou. He's like you, except he's only on number 2. Call Term Provider.